Welcome home, neighbors.
Welcome home, neighbors.
Hello, neighbors.
We're listening from
Arizona,
Florida,
Maryland,
New York,
New Jersey,
Indianapolis,
California,
Utah,
Michigan.
Iowa, Massachusetts, Georgia, Canada,
Our home resort is
Animal Kingdom,
Polynesia,
Bay Lake Tower,
Old Key West,
Riviera,
Boardwalk,
Alani Resort,
Hilton Head,
Boulder Ridge, Hopper Creek,
Grand Floridian,
Saratoga Springs,
Beach Club.
and Wilderness Lodge.
And you're listening to
You're listening
to
my
Well, welcome home, everybody. And I'd like to welcome to the show today, Toni. You guys might want to come off mute right now. So,
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everyone.
hey. So we've got, Toni, you're just a little mute button down there.
I got it.
Cool.
Hello. The
Cool.
joys of being live.
Yep. I mean, it's always fun with a live show because we never know what we're going to get into. I can plan out the best, coolest technology that ever was. And every now and then it just bites you. I don't know what to say. Okay. But welcome to the show, Toni, from the Disney Crush.
Thank you very much.
Hey, so tell us a little bit about your podcast as well.
The Disney Crush is a labor of love. My brother-in-law, David Youngward, is podcast crazy, and he's he didn't know what he wanted to do a podcast about, and then he got an annual pass, and he was like, I want to do a podcast about Disney, and he knew that I was a Disney freak already. I've been a pass holder for probably about 15 years now, and so he just said, you're doing it with me, and I really had no choice.
Yeah, so without Dave tonight, we're kind of like the Disney squeeze, okay? Because we only have half the force. We can't really crush, right? But we can put a good solid squeeze on it, okay?
But we've been doing it for almost 2 years now. We're up to 104 episodes. 104 is this week. So
yeah, and you guys are kind of a
awesome.
general Disney news and rumors from a local Floridians kind of perspectives, because you guys can just pop over, right?
Yeah. We have a different take on it because people that come for a week, we come for 2-3 days at a time. It's a very different perspective.
And I'm in South Florida, so it's even different than probably Toni because we're 3 hours away, but it's very similar.
Right.
Yep,
So
and welcome back, Shannon, as well. So
it's been a while.
yeah, it has. I mean, you've been like on a vacation hiatus for forever on us here.
Yes, well, our trip went from a Sunday to the following Monday, so it covered 2 Sundays. And then we had a company Christmas party last Sunday, so I was not available, so I'm back.
Gotcha. So, and I've got the little banner going across the bottom now.
Oh, for my ears, yes.
Yeah, so let's give it.
They're so cute.
Let's talk about the ears, because I haven't done a Shannon's ear shout outs in like weeks now.
I know. So these are from Chasing Childhood. I discovered her on Instagram. She's in the United Kingdom, so it took a while to get them. Shipping was a little, was pricey, but they're totally worth it. They're actually pretty comfortable. And these are one of her Christmas deluxe ears. So if you're ordering, they sparkle, and I ordered them for the Christmas party. They came in 2 days before we left. So it took about 6 weeks from when I ordered them to when I received them because of just processing time and then receiving them. But I love them. And I just had to keep, fortunately with the Christmas party, we only rode Mine Train. That was the only ride we rode, and then people mover. But so that was the only thing we rode. So it was one of those events where I could actually wear the ears and not have to worry about them falling off. So
Nice.
Yeah, I might take them off for Mine Train just to be safe, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, totally.
Gotcha. Okay. So do you have any photos or anything to catch us up on from your month off?
My month off, I know. So I was only in Disney for 8 nights, but so it was our very typical kind of our long trip that we've done. We did our family pictures again with Disney Fine Art Photography. I just received the email this week, and I'll be receiving the photos. So I did post a preview that they gave us, but I'll be posting a blog post about that on my blog, Disney Days. But you can put that picture up.
Okay.
That's from our last night. So what we've done the last 2 years is we end the party with the Christmas party. We end our trip with the Christmas party because it's such a late night. We close the park down. Just like with the Halloween party, my son wanted to match Mickey Mouse.
Oh my God, I love
So
that your husband is matching everybody.
Oh
beautiful.
yeah,
That's
so
beautiful.
I found someone on Etsy who had fabric that was almost identical, and we were planning on wearing pajamas. But then when my son was literally wearing a tuxedo with a tailcoat, so we're like, we can't wear a tuxedo and us be in pajamas. So I threw this idea out to my husband, and I said, what about wearing a Christmas plaid suit? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Like, I didn't even have to. People are like, what did you have to do to get him to wear that suit? And I'm like, I just asked because,
Wow.
it was fun. It was a lot
He's
of
a good
fun.
sport.
Yeah,
Oh,
he is
fun.
he is a good sport. You can see my ears; they match perfect with my outfit. And I'll tell you, my husband was probably the hit of the party because he was walking around. People were, they looked at my son and they're like, "Oh, you're Mickey Mouse," and he had a good time. But that was a lot of fun. And then this is so the night before, this was Friday night. So that was Sunday night that we did the party. That was our last night. And this was Friday night. We did Hoop-Dee-Doo review.
Oh, it looks like the campground. Yeah.
This was at Fort Wilderness. So we did Hoop-Dee-Doo review, which is a first for us. We had the Mickey's Backyard Barbecue was our tradition. So obviously that is no more. So we added Hoop-Dee-Doo. Wasn't sure if my 4-year-old would like it or if it would not. He loved it. I mean, we were placed literally front row right up to the stage. He loved it. Both my husband and son got called up on stage.
I was going to say, I thought I
Wow.
remember seeing pictures of them called up. So
yeah. So my husband and son, they came up and they said, your son's a little young, but do you think he'll go up on stage? I'm like, he's a ham. He'll go.
Yeah.
And he totally did it. He was,
he comes by it honestly, though.
oh yeah, he was. I mean, they asked him, what's your name? He said, Mickey Mouse Rider. They asked him where he's from. He said the clubhouse because obviously, and because they were talking about everybody that was 4 years old. And actually, Hoop-Dee-Doo had a little Christmas overlay too. The whole place is decorated, but they also sang some Christmas songs. Wasn't the Christmas songs I would have chosen, but they were Christmas songs. So if you're looking for a little overlay at Fort Wilderness and Hoop-Dee-Doo, they do have a little bit of an overlay there.
I was
And
going to
then-
say here, I'm just looking at your guys' coats and this is Florida. What are you doing in like Michigan coat?
I don't own a coat like that.
First of all, we're from South Florida, so it gets to 60 degrees. We're bringing out everything. I want to say that night it was probably in the high 40s. That night it was probably in the high 40s.
I've done Disney with winter hats. It gets cold
T-shirt
down
weather.
here.
It does.
T-shirt weather.
No, yeah,
Sure,
sorry,
yeah.
no.
Oh, she froze.
Yep.
Oh shoot. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it looks so cool.
Anyways, apparently the internet froze up down there with those cold
no.
comments for Shannon. So we'll keep moving on. But welcome back, Alicia, tonight as well.
Thank you. I wasn't
Alicia.
sure if I was going to make it tonight because we jumped on a plane. We were at the airport at 4 a.m. today and zipped on back down. Now we're in Sarasota. So we made it in. It was the absolute worst airplane ride. I wish it upon nobody. I heard that at least 4 people got sick on it. One of them right in the middle of the aisle. Right. So, but we lived through it, and I missed my motorhome at quite a few moments during that time. But hey, we're here. I brought the bad weather from Michigan, so we're gonna leave the sunshine up there, and it's all like 50s and rain right now, all today and all tomorrow.
Got it. Well, we have a special guest as well. And I mispronounced it as well. It's Anne Ellie.
I think Annalie.
Annalie, right?
It's
So-
Annalie.
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 Okay.
Yep. And Alex.
Hi.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Now, you're doing a post WDW trip report, right? So give us, make everybody jealous and just do the little rundown as to what you got to do on this trip. So we promise not to hurt you.
Okay. Well, we arrived on late night on the 12th, and we did a flop house. I guess you could call it a flop house at Caribbean Beach. And it was really great. We stayed
Andrew
there
created a
tonight.
monster. Yeah.
We have. DVC has created a terrible monster because I only like the deluxe now. But we stayed at Caribbean Beach 2 nights, and that was fabulous for access to the Skyliner.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I would go back to Caribbean Beach for, and that's about the only thing I'd go back to Caribbean Beach for. And then we moved over to Bay Lake, and we shared a 2-bedroom with our friends, and we did the Christmas party. And then we left on the 16th for a 4-night cruise on the Disney Dream.
Wow.
And we arrived back at Disney on the 20th, and we stayed 2 nights at our home resort at Boulder Ridge.
Oh, fun. How many
that's
kiddos
the
do you have?
itinerary.
How many kiddos do you have?
Are you guys able to still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we didn't know if you could hear us, but Alicia asked, how many kids do you have?
We have 3. And
Okay.
we are driving in the car home from the airport as we speak.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So we
fun.
were on the Tragical Express, and then we were on a 3-hour flight, and now we're in southern Minnesota driving into Iowa home. So I'm not driving, as you can tell, but
Perfect.
So what do you
Gotcha.
think? How did it work out having 2 families in the 2-bedroom?
that was great. It was just
Good.
fine. We had beds for everybody. The kids are young enough that they are okay with the pullouts and the pullout
Mhm.
chair. I kind of envision as we get older and teenagers and maybe teenagers with their friends that, you know, just our family of 5 with a friend or 2 is going to need our own 2-bedroom for
Mhm.
sure. But just with kids that need more privacy. But there were 3 bathrooms in the 2-bedroom villa
Yeah, that's
Wow.
awesome at Bay Lake.
at Bay Lake. So that's a real plus. Huge plus there.
Yeah,
Got
because we went with my family of 6 in the 2-bedroom at Copper Creek, and I was like, I don't know if I want to share. This is kind of nice.
Got it.
Yep.
Well, let's partly cure your post Disney blues here. Now we cure part of it with coming on a live show, okay? But what's your trip report for going home next? What's your countdown? I think I'm at like 26 days, so just under 4 weeks, maybe even under 3 weeks now. I think it's January 10th, so yeah, it's probably 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and I'm going home to
Yeah.
Riviera, so I can't
Awesome.
wait.
Nice.
So
I'm
yeah, we'll
pushing
have.
about 5 weeks then.
So you're at 5 weeks. Toni, when's your next trip?
January 4th. So 2
Got it.
week and a half. 2.
Got it.
Oh,
And when
fun.
everybody who's tuning in through Facebook or YouTube or Periscope, Twitter, what's your countdowns like? And it's Annalie, right?
Yes,
I got
I
it.
will be back
got
home
it.
on February 7th. With
All right.
a friend that has not done DVC yet, and she and I are having a 3-night girls trip.
Oh, awesome. Where are you guys staying?
I love
Old
that.
Key West, which we've never stayed before, and I'm really excited about it.
Got it. Well, that's awesome. I'm going back again that same weekend. I'm hopping down for just a 2-day weekend. And I think we're at Saratoga right now, but I could be moving.
Annalie, I
that
think
same
you and I will be about the same. We're going to be at Old Key West around the beginning of February, so we might
Great.
overlap. Yeah.
We might need to have a meetup.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, if you've got the bandwidth and you want to stay on, you can. I'm just going to go through some comments here, and let's see here. They were coming back in, and Jeremy, I'm catching up on comments. Or Justin agrees with me that was shorts in Michigan weather. Okay.
Yeah, April, yes, for sure.
And then Mary was commenting that the BLT bathrooms, that she loves them. Oh, I can't say enough great things about
Bonus
those bathrooms.
bathroom.
Yep. And then Caleb counts big pluses at Bay Lake and Kidani. And now we're into the countdowns, and Mary has 4 weeks. So Mary, we'll have to see if we're there at the same time or not, because I've got a 3rd trip in there as well for that Moonlight Magic. Jared calls me up and says, "Hey man, I got extra Moonlight Magic tickets." And I looked and I got $60-something round trip tickets to just buzz down there,
Wow.
stay a night for like $85 with tax over at All-Star, and then buzz out. So
Same day?
next day, because I mean it's a Moonlight Magic deal, so I won't be out of there till midnight. But Scott
That's
Spear is
awesome.
saying January 11th, so he's got 20 days. So I must be at 19 then, Scott. And then Caleb, 9 days for Riviera and Kidani. So Caleb, you'll have to join us next week for a Riviera live as well. And then Mary, let's see, it moved. Justin Murray, 125. And taking his youngest your daughter to celebrate her 5th birthday. Awesome.
Oh, that's a good one.
May 3rd for Elizabeth. And Dan says January 18th for Copper Creek. Man, we are going home soon. Okay. And Holly, 27 days. This is the like the sub 60 club. Like we should all have our fast passes done by now.
I wonder where everybody's from too. Like, is everybody coming out of the north? I mean, they're all coming pretty soon.
Get
so
out of
that's
the
pretty
cold.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Mary makes the comment that she's going to Moonlight Magic as well. And I will definitely be doing listener meetups there. When I go to these things, that's really what I come down for, is to just hang out with people and do character meets and hang out with people and all that kind of stuff. So definitely if you're going to Moonlight Magic, that first one in January, let me know. And
I love that you love character meets. Who's your character?
it's the rare ones. Okay. It's all the rare ones that happen at those Moonlight Magics. And
Do you have an albatross yet? Like the one that you haven't got yet?
no, I'm not chasing a white whale yet. And welcome back, Shannon.
Hey, Shannon.
Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. My computer froze.
Got it. Got it. We're just going through some comments right now here. And you know, we were doing our countdown. When's your next trip home, Shannon?
So our passes expired on Friday, Saturday. So we're letting them lapse a little bit. So we're going to take a little bit of a break from Walt Disney World, but we have a Disney cruise planned in February, Marvel Day at Sea out of Miami.
Nice.
And so if anybody has tips for Disney Magic, we've only been on one Disney cruise. And so any tips, send them to me, because I'm a pro at Walt Disney World, completely clueless when it comes to Disney Cruise Line. So send them to me, find me in the community and send them to me, because I am all ears on that. And then we're planning on hitting 4 Moonlight Magics this year. So we're only not going to go to the Animal Kingdom one. So that's the plan, was we're going to try and plan on going. I know, sorry. We couldn't swing it, but yeah, we're planning on going to go to, and it's sold out now. So we're going to try, we're going to surprise our son and take him out of school one day and go to Magic
Now,
Kingdom.
if you're going to Typhoon Lagoon, you might be able to twist my arm to get me to pop back down there again.
Yeah, that's the one in
I
July.
want to go to.
That's the one in July. And so I've never been to, the only Disney water park I've been to is River Country.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I've never
They've
been to
stepped it up
Typhoon
a little bit.
Lagoon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've never been to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach. And our son is totally into water slides. And we hit a milestone this past trip. I know I got interrupted my trip report. He now can go up on the slide by himself. And he will go down. So that was a huge milestone this trip, that we don't have to go with him, which made the pool day much more enjoyable for myself and my husband. So yeah, I may have had a drink in my hand. So
Welcome to my world now. Yeah.
yeah, so that was a huge milestone this past trip, and he loved the old Key West slide. So
Got it. Well, let's shift gears here and go over to Christmas decorations in Walt Disney World.
Right.
So let me try to come back in and see if I can do this. And get us
okay.
all to squeeze over to the side.
Okay.
And then, Toni, do you want to walk us through some of your photos here?
Yeah, we've got some pictures. I was there last weekend from the 14th to the 16th. I go with my mom every Christmas.
Aw.
She's 86, so her days of hard park touring are gone. She does go to the parks, but it's a different pace. And usually in December, when we go, just the two of us, I have a husband and kids, but I leave them home and I just go with her. And we usually mostly focus on the decorations. And that's the beauty of having an annual pass, really, is that there's nothing lost if you don't ride every ride, you know, when you go, because you'll be back. So
Absolutely.
So this trip, we went to the different resorts and saw the decorations.
Nice.
Yeah.
There are so many that got decorated this year.
So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that is Boardwalk, right?
That is Boardwalk. Now Boardwalk's big attraction is not the inside tree. It is the gingerbread replica of the entire boardwalk. They do the whole boardwalk in gingerbread, pretty detailed too. I'm trying to find the one inside. You'll see Mickey and Minnie and
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, and it's all made of sugar and confections.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the big tree at Boardwalk is outside. It's out in that courtyard area in the middle there, and at nighttime it's really pretty too. But that's, like I said, the gingerbread house at the Boardwalk. I'm skipping around too much. Is the highlight. Yeah.
I don't know. I really saw one that has the carousel that moved. I thought that was really cool.
That's the beach club. Let me find that. Let me find that. I have that for you.
That's really nice.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know how
chocolate,
they
right?
do that.
Is it chocolate or is it gingerbread?
it's gingerbread. It's gingerbread. Yeah. They have it decorated this year. I have a still photo so we could talk about it. Of it's done with the Peter Pan characters. Wendy, Tinkerbell, and Peter are the horses.
Okay.
And I know a few years ago we went and it was the Fab Five. So I was surprised this year it was the Peter Pan characters. Because one thing I will say about these decorations, we go every year. There not a lot of changes over the years, and I was happy to see this. So right next door to the Boardwalk is the Yacht and Beach, of course, and they have a Christmas village with a train that goes around. I don't have a video loaded of that, but it's really impressive, the Christmas village.
And this was where?
That's Yacht and Beach. No, that's Yacht Club.
That's Yacht Club.
Beach
Okay.
Club. Yeah, Beach Club is the
carousel. Okay.
Right. And
I saw my fave Copper Creek in there, just a little glimpse.
Wilderness Lodge. Yeah, we stayed there 2
Yeah.
years ago, and that tree is amazing. But that's new. That's new this
brand,
year.
brand new is this little gingerbread cabin. Not as impressive as the other gingerbread displays, but I'll tell you what, it had the best gingerbread smell of any of the gingerbread displays. I don't know if they were piping it in the way Disney does, or if that's actually the gingerbread that smelled that good.
Mhm.
But it was really
they had
good.
the whole bar there with all of the snacks and goodies and treats that you could buy, with it. So I think there must be some kind of aroma that they're and you could smell
and that tree is just amazing.
Yeah, that's the tree.
Yeah, was that Humphrey that was on the gingerbread house there?
It might have been. Let me see.
I think he's the official mascot of Wilderness Lodge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that's him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And what was nice when we left there, we walked out to Geyser Point and had a bison burger for lunch. And it was that's the kind of trip it is when I go with mom.
Yeah.
It's just relaxed and sitting by the lake, watching everybody go by and having a bison burger and a mule. And we had a blackberry mule.
I think I get the most Christmas feel at Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even more so than the Grand Floridian.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Grand Floridian was bananas. The lobby was full of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they have the entertainers, the musicians?
There was a piano player when I was there. They did move the gingerbread house a little bit this year. I don't know if you noticed, Shannon. Did you see it when you were there?
We didn't. We were supposed to go the last day, but my son really wanted to ride Tower of Terror. So we canceled our reservations.
Here, if you look at this picture, you could see where it's kind of moved. In years past, it was
in the
over
center.
In the corner. Yeah.
So that's where it was last year.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, it was there last year. Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe we missed last year. We go every year, but I'm thinking now that you say that.
Yeah,
because it usually is over in the past was in that back corner.
No, I know that's where it was last year, but that's the only time we've ever seen it.
Oh, okay.
Got it.
So
okay,
the gingerbread house is very impressive, size wise, but inside they have the person selling the gingerbread houses and the cookies, and
you go inside that.
No, there's a person. No, yeah.
It's a working gingerbread house there.
It's a cast member inside selling.
That's what I think is so amazing about that is that there's people working inside there. That's what it's amazing about that gingerbread house.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I know from years past that we've had the gingerbread. It doesn't taste very good. The ones you buy. So I don't know.
Okay. Skip the gingerbread. Note to self.
The monorail, the line to get back on the monorail that day was so long. It was out past the shop around the corner.
Wow.
Yeah. So we decided to take the boat. So
Yeah.
and then we went over to the Contemporary where they have Cinderella Castle with Cinderella and Prince Charming and the fairy godmother.
That I love the shopping there. So that is right outside the shopping, right?
It is. And
I would have guessed that was Small World.
No, it's Cinderella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's the.
Oh yeah, I see the clock. Yeah, but he sees the clock up in the top,
you're right. Yeah.
in the top corner. You're right. In the background is Small World. You're
It's
absolutely right.
It's the
both.
castle in front of Small World.
I never noticed that before. See, but it is. It's right next to the shop, like you said. So it was really hard to get pictures. There was a line of people, but you're like right on top of the shop almost when you're trying to get a picture.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Thought they could have done that a little differently, but I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You know what? I stuck with DVC for you guys. There was a really nice display. I guess I didn't upload it. Over at the Swan, the Santa Claus made entirely of chocolate, and I must not have uploaded that picture.
Now, did you hit the Christmas tree trail?
We didn't this year because in years past, honestly, it wasn't our favorite.
Okay.
Right. This is my first year that I did do it. And I was like, we are doing this. We're going to be there. And I was like, after doing the trees from all the DVC resorts, I was like, really? Nope.
Like, we did Santa there. We did Santa there that morning, in one morning. The first morning we were there.
No, I should have.
I don't recall seeing this picture. This one.
That's Yacht Club's tree. That's Yacht Club's tree.
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, with my mom being that she's 86 and we're trying to do as much as we can in 2 days. I have to pick what we're going to do. And so the trail of trees got pushed out this year. I did just upload that picture of Santa Claus. That's the Swan.
Wow.
And he's entirely made of chocolate. Everything in this picture is made of chocolate. So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and that gets overlooked because people don't walk in the Swan and Dolphin.
No.
So the Dolphin has a tree and it kind of snows every 15 minutes over the tree with the soap bubbles. But other than that, they didn't. I remember before they redid the lobby at the Dolphin, they used to have this big tree with a train, like the bigger scale train going around it. But they don't do that anymore. They have a bar there now.
Got it.
So.
Got it. Well, let's take
interesting
couple listener questions or comments here
as
well. Let me come back to this.
So Mark said it was slightly moved last year regarding the gingerbread house. It was slightly moved last year and even further this year.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, there's Mark's comment that he loves the gingerbread from last year. We never checked them out this year because people had visiting. He had people visiting with us and no time for the extras.
Oh.
Yeah, that like you said, when you're not an annual pass holder and you're running and gunning through the parks, you might not take the time to do this.
And, one of the things David and I talked about was, I don't know if any of your, I'm sure some of you listeners are gold and silver pass holders, and we're blocked out these weeks of Christmas. And this is something you can still do. You can still get some Disney magic while you're blocked out. By going
oh, good point.
Oh,
yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah. So Jeremy writes that they got spoiled last November and we got the end of Food and Wine with all of these gingerbread houses were up. The only thing they didn't see was the big tree at Copper Creek. They missed it by 3 days.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that is a good time
with Thanksgiving being so late this year, I think that also delayed a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. And Mary commented that the trees always look amazing at the trail at the Springs. Did you do the Christmas tree trail?
We didn't this year. We haven't
did.
Though.
We did it. We did it during the day and at night. So we did it the first morning we were there, and which was nice. It was really nice to see it during the day because it's somewhat empty. And then also the wait for Santa was only 90 minutes. When we went the next night for dinner, the wait was 330 minutes.
Holy beavers.
Now you don't, it's a virtual queue. So they basically give your number and then they call you and then you go and wait in line. But we got to just go through we walked through the trail. my son's best friend from when he was 3 months old moved to Chicago, and they happened to be in Disney that day. So we had lunch, and then we all went to see Santa together. So that was really fun.
Yeah, we tried to see Santa today, and it was a 5.5 hour wait in Sarasota at the UTC.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I will say that Santa at Disney Springs is pretty cool. And we did the photo pass in Disney Springs, which we never did. I should have uploaded that photo. And then there's a special DVC layout. There's a special DVC specific background. So when he did all the photos, and then I said, "Oh, we're DVC members." He goes, "Okay." And then he did another one. So we got to do all of those. Now my son really wasn't really into it, so the pictures are okay. But it was the first time we'd ever used the Disney Photo Pass section at Disney Springs, which was fun.
And they do that with Santa?
It was different. It's different. And I mean, literally, we walked in, took pictures. It was all of 5 minutes, if that. It's basically a green screen, and they put backgrounds, and they put backgrounds, kind of like a magic shot.
Mm-hmm.
Neat.
But they have a specific one just for DVC members, and it was Christmas related.
Cool.
Got it.
Did you see any? I'm sorry. I was just going to ask if she saw any of the other Santas at Disney
We
World.
did not, because we were trying to convince our son that Santa was just at Disney Springs.
One guy.
Oh, okay.
And then he was in the parade the last day, but that was it. Like, we couldn't go see multiple Santas.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, now that the picture sharing is done, we have room for another person if somebody wants to join us in live and just do a quick comment or a trip report there. So you can just type that web address into your web browser on your smartphone and come on in. And we've got room for one more. We can rotate people in and out if you guys want to join the show live as well. So that's just another option that's out there. And let me hit a couple of comments here as well. Mark made the comment that Santa is just wow. And he was also surprised that Copper Creek doesn't do a train display.
I would agree with that.
You know, giving the history of trains and that train room there and everything train that's at Wilderness Lodge, I'm with you, Mark. Well, they need to bust out the killer Christmas tree train. I mean, they've got arguably the best lobby already. This would just like cement it in stone. Okay.
Especially if there was something that pulled in like the new part, like there's the new one going in over there. And if it went between the two or something, that'd be kind of cool.
But the thing is, with the Wilderness Lodge, it never feels that crowded like Grand Floridian does. Grand Floridian is just always filled with people. Where Wilderness Lodge, I mean, there's people and there's people taking pictures. You can get pass photos in front of the tree just like you can at Grand Floridian, but you don't have that and I guess it's because of the monorail.
Yes. Yeah, you have to want to get there. You can't be like, oh, where do these doors lead?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I just sent Toni a quick message to see what's going on with her to see what happened. So, okay.
I wonder if the Riviera is going to get full like that because of the gondolas and people popping off.
Their lobby is not very their lobby is not very grand. I haven't seen their lobby. I've only seen videos. So it opened after we left. But what I've heard is that now it's typical DVC only property. It doesn't have a grand lobby. The grand lobbies are the true resorts. If you look at Old Key West, Saratoga, their lobbies are smaller, more intimate. And I think that's what Riviera is. So I don't think they'll probably have decorations like Old Key West had some nice decorations, but nothing to write home about.
Well, let's come back over. I know Alicia and I have both seen The Rise of Skywalker, and let's pivot over to spoiler-free discussion and comments. So if you're listening or you're watching and you're posting, we're still keeping it spoiler-free, okay? But that being
trying
said,
to tempt everybody to go watch with as much passion as we have.
Yeah, that's just it. Because I left the movie satisfied yet not satisfied, if that makes sense to you. That I was okay. It kind of put everything together, but yet I wanted more. And I wanted it to slow down and this needed to be like a 3 or a 4 hour movie to really wrap this up and hit all of the really good, interesting points and hit the emotional highs and lows.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to go on an emotional roller coaster here.
Mhm.
And there was some of that. Okay. I mean, it's J.J. Abrams. You have to expect that. But that's one of the things that I really wanted to see in there. And the other thing that I'll tell you about the movie is it made me less ticked at the way The Last Jedi, what happened there. Okay. Because I was still kind of holding a grudge about, Luke going.
You and my
pooping-
husband have that in common.
Yeah, poofing out the way he did, right? All I'm saying is now that the whole story has unfolded, I'm at peace with that. Okay.
And I look at it as I'm like, even though it's the end, but I think there's a lot of openings for like, how they've been pulling in different parts. They're like, oh, let's, see what movie, that there's more information on different characters that they can pull in of different points of their life. So this might be the end of the chain, but it's definitely not the end of Star Wars.
Oh no, they just put billions of dollars into building 2 Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
They are going to keep, milking this thing back up and doing everything that they can to bring Galaxy's Edge back and get more Galaxy Star Wars merch and everything else.
I will say it makes Galaxy's Edge. I mean, every part of between The Mandalorian and watching that movie, I'm like, I can't wait to go back again because I'm like, I get it. Oh, I saw that. We're like pointing at the screen going, that's what that was, so it was really cool.
Got it. Now, Shannon, has like Mandalorian driven up your Star Wars?
I haven't seen it yet. So sorry. Between our Disney trip, my son's birthday. So my son's birthday was the 11th. We came back, went back to work, and then I had his birthday party. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I do have the week off between Christmas and New Year's. So I plan on, I think the last episode is this Friday. So I'm going to probably start binge watching Thursday, Friday. I like to binge watch. I had to finish binge watching The Crown because that's my show.
Okay.
And then I was watching the Imagineering story. So I did watch that every week, but I don't watch a lot of TV. So my husband, and I was like, I should just wait until the last episode so that I can just watch it. So I think the last episode is this Friday. So
yeah, it is.
Ryder might love it. I mean,
Ryder is all into Star Wars. He did Jedi training. So he's like, I am a Jedi. So
and my daughter loves them all. I mean, she loves The Mandalorian. She went through the movie and she was cheering the whole time. I mean, she couldn't handle like Lion King, like she couldn't handle that one. But this one, she was cheering and she loves Rey so much.
My son's first movie at 20 days old, he wasn't even 3 weeks, was The Force Awakens. We brought him to The Force Awakens when he was 20 days old. So it's in his blood. He's all in, and he rode Star Tours for the first time, and he rode Rise of the Resistance all before his 4th birthday. So he's all in. So yeah, we're taking him to this movie, and then I'll probably start binge watching with him during our Christmas break.
I wonder if anybody else out there who's watching, did you guys get to see it? I mean, did you guys like it?
Who's seen it? I know my husband hasn't. He was kind of waiting for all 3 of us, but I think he's just going to go tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Okay.
Yeah. I told him it's better that he should go by himself and then go with me, because I will probably be like, what's that? What's that? So
I was definitely, my daughter and I were annoying people around us going, oh, do you think this is why? I think this is how it goes. The guy behind us, I think he was irritated. We were trying to figure it all out, but it was so great.
I don't think a lot of people have seen it yet, because I don't think there's not a lot of comments. So we'll see. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
I was really scared to see the critics' comments coming out, and I'm like, oh man,
ignore those guys, right?
So when people started going and saying, I was a big Game of Thrones person, so I was happy. I was pleased with the ending. Oh, we have somebody.
Yeah, I forgot. Annalie is here, and she sent a comment, and I just saw it, that they premiered Star Wars on the cruise. So sorry about that.
Oh, wait. Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they premiered it for us on the 19th, the day before it opened.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And we shockingly were able to do that 2 years ago as well, on our Disney Dream Cruise with The Last Jedi.
Oh, wow.
I don't know, lightning strikes twice, I guess. We get the premiere 2 years in a row. My daughter got interviewed on the red carpet which was outside the
Oh.
theater. They had fake
Nice.
paparazzi and it was really fun.
I gave an autograph to someone.
That's fun.
Awesome.
But that's one really fun perk of Disney cruising. If you have a movie premiere, they will probably premiere it the day before it opens wide to the world. But they do premiere it late, and it was the last night of the cruise. So a couple of us went to bed, and then the rest of the family went and saw it, and they loved it.
Good.
So
Okay.
big thumbs up
Is
for
there
my
enough
family.
seats? Like, can anybody go, or do you have to get tickets, or how does that work on a cruise?
No, anybody can go, and does not cost money. Snacks are a little fee, but nothing outrageous. And it's just you can go, and it's all first run movies in the theater. So if you go to a movie in the theater that's on the ship, it's all first run. So Frozen 2 was playing, and Maleficent, and the new Lion
But it's all
King and the new
Disney.
Aladdin.
Yeah, it's all Disney movies because they
Yep.
already own them, right? So
Exactly.
they don't really have to negotiate with the studios on that. Okay.
Right?
That's a great perk, though.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, and Elizabeth makes the comment that she saw it last night, overall good, but wish some things had gone another direction. I think that's the
Yeah.
general consensus. And I mean, I've been geeking out over in Richard and Sarah's group, the Skywalking Through Neverland. And it killed me because I saw it the 19th as well, because I think technically 6 p.m. was opening. It was like, I guess they realized at 6 p.m. it's the 20th somewhere. Okay. So 6 p.m. Eastern time was the earliest they could start playing it. So I had a 6 p.m. viewing and popped at the theater right across from work. And yeah, I had the same exact kind of thought. I would wish it would have went some things differently, but I think that's going to happen in all of the Star Wars movies.
I think
Okay.
that happens with any finale.
Yeah.
And even any episode. I mean, you can go right back to Mandalorian, and I mean, who wasn't yelling at the TV this week? I mean, like,
Yeah, it's a nail biter on Mandalorian this week. We won't spoil it for anybody, but yeah, you're sitting back going, they can do that? And
yeah.
yep.
I'm glad
yep.
it wasn't the finale. I'm glad we have one more week at least, right?
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So now, Annalie, did you make it over to Riviera on your trip?
Yeah, we did a tour. We had a member tour. So we got a little presentation with some updates on what's going on with DVC in general. And, you know, of course, the sales pitch on Riviera, but the biggest pitch of all was the fact that they did their presentation in the Grand Villa, which is absolutely stunning.
Wow.
Like,
Oh, wow.
I've seen videos of it. It's amazing.
jaw on the floor, stunning. And Riviera was, of course, squeaky clean and beautiful. It had only been open for 5 days. You can tell they were still trying to work out some of the kinks, you know, in the quick service dining and in the gift shop. I did notice they have the new DVC ears in the gift shop, and I was going to purchase them, but I didn't have my annual pass holder card with me to get my discount, so I waited for my husband to show up with that. And then when I went back to get them, they were gone. So
Wow.
these ears are very, very cute. And they have a lot of beautiful Riviera merchandise in the gift shop. The guy working there told me that they have the largest collection of resort themed merchandise
I have noticed
in any hotel he said in the world. I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly true for DVC or for Disney in general.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Two things. You can
cute.
buy the artwork that's in Riviera. So if you see a piece of artwork that you love, there's a kiosk in the gift shop, and you can purchase it in whatever size you want. You can have it framed, and then they'll ship it to your house. So that's a really cool thing.
And the
too.
prices aren't that expensive, I heard. They're
They are
reas-
not. It's about, you know, for a small-ish print, like maybe a 10 by
Mhm.
14 or something like that, it's usually about $55. It gets pricier when you add the frame on.
But that's framing's expensive anywhere.
Yes. So not a problem. Really cool idea. And then the library with all of Walt's original books and letters and his handwriting, that is like goosebumps. It is really, really cool. We did get to see every room type. So we did tour all the different room types. I actually would prefer this deluxe studio over the 1-bedroom for the bathroom layout, because there
Okay.
are 2 showers in the studio,
Wow.
and it's a split bathroom, whereas the 1-bedroom just has 1 shower.
And a bathtub, right?
And a bathtub, exactly.
Okay.
The tower studio is very small. Unless you had some kind of an incredible view, because some of the tower studios have an amazing view of fireworks, and then the tower studios so unless you had an incredible view, I don't know that I would. Studio was worth being in.
And I've also read that they're very dark at night, or they're very dark at night. They don't have a lot of lighting.
Right.
That's interesting.
We did.
I know.
We did eat at the quick service, and I did
Jim
eat at
Quick
the
Sell.
cafe, both.
Okay. And how were those meals? Toni, you ate there as well too, right? I think you're on mute. Or your mic's not set.
Yeah, your mic's not working.
When I was trying to get the thing to come back up, I had turned it off when I froze.
Is it called Topolino's?
Topolino's, which is Italian. It was what they call Mickey Mouse in Italy. That's what they call him.
Oh.
So, yeah. Here's the entryway. It's up on the 10th floor. It was kind of hard to find the elevator. They said, "Oh, it's around the corner and around the corner and around the corner." And I walked down the hallway, and I thought I had gone really far, and then I said, "It can't possibly be this far from the lobby." And I asked a cast member, and she said, no, you have to keep going. So
Wow.
I was surprised by that. I don't know. But it was opening day. So there were a lot of suits around. There was a lot of media around. And it was just very crowded. They were complimentary valet parking everyone because self-parking was full when we arrived. And that was about 9:30 when we got there. So we had breakfast, which is a character meal. It features Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy. They're all artists. They're on sabbatical in France, practicing their art. And Mickey is an artist. Here's a picture of him with my mom.
Cool paint and smock.
Yeah. Minnie is a writer. Daisy is a ballerina. And Donald is a sculptor. So that's the theme. It's a price fix meal. So it's $41 for adults. I believe $24 for kids.
And it's not a buffet, right?
No, it's like Bon Voyage, where you order off a menu. They bring you a paint bucket of pastries to start your meal.
Cute.
And and then your entree, which we both had the steak, because really for $41, that's the best value. I mean, if you're gonna get a waffle or they have everything bagel as one of the options, with salmon, but so we got the steak.
Was that on top of like potatoes or a butter sauce?
That's polenta. And so that was a good brunch, because by the time we ate, it was around 10. So that was good. We were talking about the merchandise. They were even pushing the merchandise in the restaurant. They were selling plushes of the characters dressed in the costumes they were wearing at the breakfast.
Oh, you don't see that very often.
I'm not a fan of the outfits personally. I only like Minnie's. Yeah. But I do like that they have the outfits.
Yeah.
Disney is on their merch game.
Riviera really is. Like we were saying before, they have a lot of resort specific merchandise. I tried to upload a picture of the ears that she was talking about, because the ears feature a fabric which one of the cast members explained to me was designed exclusively for Riviera. So the bow has a exclusive Riviera fabric on it.
I've been trying to get a hold of those just to do for a listener giveaway. So if anybody's there, let me know. I'll pay you for them, and I'll pay you to ship them out to whoever wins. But I want to give away a set of those ears as a giveaway.
I did snag a picture of there's a little girl. We were both adults. There was a little girl next to me. She got a kids waffle pops. They were waffles on a stick, and they were three
wow.
dipping sauces. So I thought that was cute. As you see in that picture, there's Pog juice served like they serve at Ohana and Boma and Tusker House. They call it something else there, something Riviera juice. But it includes the meal. The meal includes that and coffee and a soft drink, coffee or a soft drink. And then if you want alcohol or a premium beverage like cappuccino, that's extra, of course. So $41. It's similar, like you said, to Bon Voyage at Trattoria. So
I bet we have reservations in May. I think Chad, you said you have reservations in January, so I'm looking forward to it. It looks like a fun new place to go.
Yeah,
I am, and I'm like, I guess 19 days or 20 something days like that from staying there. So I'm counting down the days. I can't wait to go.
Now, what kind of room are you in?
We're in a preferred 1-bedroom. We were out of points. We did the cash room.
Okay.
But even with the 35%, I looked at it and it was almost 100 points for the couple nights.
Right.
And I was like, well, I could have rented the points out and paid cash for this.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's essentially what we did because there were no point rooms available.
Right.
So we just, went over to DVC resale market or DVC rental store and unloaded about 100 points and then took the cash and paid for the room.
Great.
Did you, do you know if the Topolino's takes the meal plan or if it's like 1 or 2 credits?
The breakfast is 1 credit. Dinner is 2, which I'm going to show you when you come in. There are cases in the waiting room, wine in the case, and you see they make fresh pasta every day, and there's cheeses there. So I looked at the dinner menu. I'm not sure. I'm Italian, so I have a hard time paying those prices for pasta that I can make at home. So I don't know.
Probably better.
Probably, but I've seen a couple of reviews and I don't know. I mean, I don't know, $45 for a plate of macaroni. But I guess not
and you know
everybody
that it's
can
a 2 when
it is.
it's
It's
a
2
2
credit.
credit.
2
I mean,
credit dinner.
that's a chunk.
It is a
But
signature restaurant.
It
It's
is,
just-
but
yeah.
and the views are amazing. It's the windows are there's glass, and then you could go step out on the terrace. You could see out to Animal Kingdom. I'm using my hands a lot.
That's fine.
You see Animal
I've been doing
Kingdom.
it all night.
You can see Black Spire Outpost. You can see Tower of Terror. You can see World Showcase. So there's going to be amazing fireworks views. I haven't seen any videos yet on YouTube, but
I have, and you can see all 3 fireworks.
wow. So
Yeah, and so that right there is probably worth
you're paying for that if you get the right timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
That's pretty fun.
Well, let's come back into general reviews or first impressions of Riviera now that it's open to the public and we've all seen some more photos and footage and that kind of thing, and see if we can't get some listeners commenting as well here and re-engage them back into the show. So what's your guys' thoughts of Riviera so far? Okay. Are you loving it? Is it meeting expectations? Is it not meeting expectations? What do you guys think so far? Initial impressions.
So
Well-
I said before the show, I was all gung-ho about this resort. Couldn't wait for it to open. But now that it's open, I think it's amazing. I think it's beautiful. It's very luxurious. But I realize it's not made for the stage of life I'm in, a couple with a toddler. I don't think it's not a resort for kids. It's not that kids aren't welcome, but I feel like it's more geared towards adults. Maybe, both young adults before having kids, and then maybe, the couple, empty nesters or retirees. I think that's the dynamic they're going for. There's no playground. There's no community hall. The pool is, it's a pool with a slide. The splash pad looks great. My son doesn't like splash pads, so it doesn't really do anything for us, but the splash pad looks great. But that's it. Like there's not, I think it's more geared towards adults, and that's great. But I'm glad that I wasn't in the market for points, because if I had bought points, I think I would have been disappointed.
Yeah, and I do, when we went there a little bit, we didn't get to go into it since it wasn't open yet, but we took the gondola over, and I said just having that private transportation to like half the parks, and I mean Disney Springs is right there close. So I think you're right on by saying, like, I can see my husband and I going, you know what? if I'm going to go have a quiet nap by the pool, because I am the napper by the pool, I don't really, it's okay not to have like 65 kids, like all, doing the Macarena next to me.
Yeah.
So, I think that there is, it's nice that they built a place that we can kind of go and relax. And I want to wear my fancy heels and my cute little dress and go to a fancy dinner. I can, and
Right.
and I think
there's enough DVC resorts that are geared for families with kids.
Right.
So I'm not complaining. I think it's stunning. And I think, maybe, my son's 4. So in 14 years, 16 years, when he's hopefully out of the house, that might be a place for where we want to stay, but it's just not where we would want to stay now.
Yeah. Toni, what was your thoughts from going there on the resort itself?
I was surprised. I didn't see the rooms, I'll be honest with you, but I was surprised when I stepped into the lobby. The lobby, I don't know, I expected more. Like the ceiling was very low, and I think it was opening day, so it was really crowded. So that might have skewed my impression, because
I've heard a couple people comment on the lobby that they want a little bit more. Okay. It's kind of like Kidani gets a little dissed on its lobby as well, because it doesn't compare to Jumbo or Wilderness or
But I
Grand
think it's
Flow.
a DVC lobby, and that's what they're comparing it to, resort lobbies. And the DVC lobbies are different than a resort lobby.
That could be. I had just been the day before at the Wilderness Lodge and the Grand Floridian, looking at those beautiful trees. So, and again, the gift shop, it was opening day. It was packed. So I thought, this is so small, but it was packed. It was really, I mean, people were trying to get that first day pin. There was a pin they were selling, opening day. So there were a lot of people there for that.
Now, I did think it was unique to put the emphasis on art, on artistry, and bringing that kind of moment in, of like, because it is, sometimes we forget that Walt was an artist and a creative artist. That's something that not a lot of people did, and he turned it into all this, and I think it's kind of nice little tribute that way.
Yeah, across from that Voyager's Lounge, which is that little library area that we were talking about before, there's beautiful pictures of Walt in his travels, him and Lillian, and that was really nice. I really like those. So
yeah, it brings a little classy, like that kind of time period of classy.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to it, and I know I'm gonna love the Skyliner.
Yeah,
but I don't know that this resort's got my feel and vibe to it. So I just don't know that from looking at it. The rooms look spectacular. I can't wait to stay there and really check it out and just take it all in. I'm not quite sure on it though. So,
and I will say the Copper Creek 1 bedrooms with I guess it's called a galley kitchen or an alley kitchen. I'm not sure what it's called, but to me, the Copper Creek, because it was a converted hotel room, seemed very narrow. Whereas these don't seem very narrow. I think they widened those rooms a little bit, so it doesn't feel so. These kitchens don't bother me in the 1 bedroom like the ones at Copper Creek did, because it seems more narrow. It seems like you actually do have some space to move around in. So I think the rooms are stunning. Like I said, it's just the resort. It's just not where we are in our life.
Yeah, and it costs a bit. Like there's a
and the cost per point. I mean, it would be. I think we figured it out. It was like 178 points for the days that we stayed at Old Key West. It would be 306 points for Riviera. And that's in 2020 point area. So, I mean, 2020. So forget 2021, because the points as we all know, for December went up. So that would even be more. So it's 50% more at points. So it's for us, again, it's just, I don't want to make anybody that bought in there feel bad. I think it's a beautiful resort. I think you're going to love it, but just for where we are in our life, it's just not for us.
Yeah. Shannon
I think Shannon.
Yeah, we've got to pull up this comment here. So
different Shannon.
Yeah. So Shannon Leonard makes this comment that I still think the Riviera resorts look like Richie Rich's and not the Riviera resort. So
agreed. Yes.
Yeah. And then Marianne goes, Shannon Leonard, LOL, so true. And yeah, it does. I've got to be there to take it all in, because I've flown past it in the Skyliner, but I'm just not sure that this tower sticking up in the middle of there is going to feel like a resort to me.
And the points are the prices are going up in January. I
Yeah.
mean, did you see that? They're going up to what, 195 or 196 a point from 188?
Grab your
And they're-
wallet.
And
Ooh.
they're selling though. I mean, like, you know, they
Well,
wouldn't be going up, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Their sales reports that Will does over at DVC News, Will Lovato, he comes back in and he monitors all of the deed transactions because DVC doesn't disclose what they sell. Okay. They don't have to, but we can take note of the deed recordings, and he meticulously does this every month. I mean, the guy's just a brilliant analyst and he just does it for fun. Okay. And he can tell you with pretty good accuracy how sales are going based off of the deed registries that's happened. And he says November was still slower than last year, and things are kind of not looking as great for Riviera sales as one would have hoped. So we shall see on there. But
again, I think it's just a different, their marketing, and that'll be interesting to see where Reflections goes, because this was definitely geared towards a different clientele. It's a different clientele, and that's fine because that's how they're going to build their business. But I'm curious to see now where Reflections is going to go. I had hoped that they would have a kick-ass pool at Riviera.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I kind of expected. So to see this kind of, nice 0 entry, pool with a slide, that was underwhelming. But again, that's I think they're gearing towards a different clientele. So now with Reflections, I would be, if I were in the market to buy new points, I would be hesitant to buy anything until it opens up, until I see what the resort is going to be.
I'm hesitant to buy anything till DVC Tower opens up over at Disneyland Hotel.
I'm on the waiting list for that.
Okay. Now, I don't care how ugly that is. That's at Disneyland.
Yeah.
Where do we sign?
My husband and I have already discussed this one. Yeah.
Oh, he's already on board.
Restrictions don't matter. The restrictions don't matter because you're buying those points for that resort.
Right.
Yeah. When it comes to resale, it'll be just like Grand Cal.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. Because I mean, I would never, ever, ever dream of using my Grand Cal points anyplace other than Grand Cal.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. But just some more comments here. Mary Wells goes, whoa, point wise. Yeah, we've kind of hit that as well.
Yeah.
Marianne comments, pretty resort, too expensive for me. And Mary knows some people who just bought in. I know a ton of people because we've got a My DVC Points community group that's just for Riviera owners over there. Try to give them some support and love. And Scott says he's only seen photos, but not looking like his cup of tea. And I like the fun resorts like Poly, Copper Creek, Animal Kingdom. Yeah, a little bit more over the top theming. Okay. When I go to
situated nice with that gondola. You know, it's like if you had events like that were just centered around Epcot or places like that, I could see that being like, okay, I want to be close. Yeah.
Right. But see, the difference with the monorail resorts, when you're staying at a monorail resort, you have to stay deluxe. You have Grand Floridian, Polynesian, or Contemporary. They're all deluxe. You have to stay deluxe. With the gondola, the Skyliner, you don't have to. Riviera is the only deluxe. You have the option to stay moderate or even value or value plus, because I consider Art of Animation value plus.
Yeah.
So you have that option. So for us, I mean, we love the Skyliner. We are all in the Skyliner. I hope they expand it, phase 2, phase 3, 4, 5, and 6. But you have that option where with a monorail, you don't. I definitely like this. We rode the Skyliner on our last day right before we headed home. We're like, let's just get on the Skyliner we went from Hollywood Studios to Caribbean Beach and back just to ride it. And it's awesome. But you have that option to go and pay cash. And we're booked in April for Moonlight Magic. We're booked at Art of Animation.
Even with the 35% super sale that they had out there for DVC members, this was still $1,500 for 2 nights in a 1-bedroom.
Wow.
Okay. It is some serious coin.
And I just don't think it compares to Grand Floridian. They keep saying it's the Grand Floridian of Epcot. I don't see it personally. I don't know. Personally, I just don't see it.
Now, I could have got 4 rooms or 2 rooms over at Pop for half the cost. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what gives here? I'm doing it just because I want to be able to scratch it off my list, say I've done it, and be able to intelligently talk about it on the podcast and the
Sure.
show and that kind of a deal. So I'm spending the money to do that. But other than that, man, we'll have to see. It'll have to really sell me.
And I will say with DVC, one thing I have learned is your opinion after you stay is always different than when before you stay. You have to actually stay, and not just stay for a night. You have to stay for at least 2 on a true trip. So I think that will give a good perception of what you really think, because I know my perception of Poly, I didn't love it as much as I thought. And Old Key West, which that's now our go-to resort, is Old Key West, which I never would have thought that until we stayed there. So I think when you stay there, absolutely, your perception might be this is the best resort, and this is our go-to resort.
I had the
now.
same exact thoughts about Old Key West as well. Now I'm kicking myself in the tail for not getting my direct points there.
Me too.
So,
I'm kicking myself that we didn't buy into Old Key West and not instead of Saratoga.
But well, live and learn. So
yeah.
Okay, so anybody else out there got any final comments? If not, we'll come back in and wrap up this show and put it in the books, because we're at about our hour mark. But I am looking forward to going to Riviera, and I want to thank you, Alicia, for joining us, and thank you, Shannon, and again, thank you so much, Toni, for sharing with you guys, or sharing your Disney trip with us and your Christmas stuff and Topolinos and all that stuff. And
it was fun, a lot of fun. Thank you.
Yep.
I'll bring some warmth home to you, Chad. I'll be up in Michigan next.
Hey, I got my T-shirt in January here. We're good. Okay, we're good. Okay. It just took me a little while to come back in and get reaccumulated to the cold, but
So. Well, Merry Christmas to everyone.
I know, Merry Christmas.
Yep. So Merry Christmas to everybody. We may or may not be on next week. I don't know for a fact. I know some people want to call in on the January 5th we're going to get a live trip report from Alani. Jacob and Evelyn, if you go back to the DVC Kids panel episode, will be over there, I believe. I hope they're not watching. I think it was a trip. A surprise. Bad host. You didn't hear that, guys. So I think they're going to find out sometime soon. So I'm going to shut up while I'm still digging myself out of that one. But I know we'll be doing a show on the 5th. Next week, those guys will just have to tune in and watch and see. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you so much, Toni. And let me throw your contact up here one last time. And we'll come back in and do a shout out to Shannon's ears. And Toni from the Disney Crush podcast. Yep. And next time we'll have to have Dave with us as well.
Yeah.
We can get the complete crush and not just the squeeze, right?
That's right.
So yeah, we'll definitely do that. And I look forward to talking with you all soon. And you all have a very Merry Christmas, and we will see everybody soon. Good night, everybody.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Bye.
Bye.